So, I hear that you've come in today to talk about birth control.
Yes. So I am suffering from some really painful periods, and I've heard that some people take birth control to make those feel a little bit better. But I've also heard that, like, even though birth control temporarily makes it feel better, that once you go off of birth control, you can have an even worse period from like the buildup of the lining or other complications. And then I also wanted to look into types of birth control that would help me to avoid getting pregnant for a short time, but I don't want to take ones that would make it harder for me to get pregnant once I do get off.
Okay, absolutely. So, wonderfully, there are a lot of options for you. Let's start with the initial, your initial concern of painful periods. There are specifically hormonal birth controls that can help. So what we have is hormonal and non-hormonal birth controls. Hormonal birth controls are the pill. A lot of people have IUDs, which is an intrauterine device. Um, some people like to have a NuvaRing, which is a prolonged version of a pill, which I can explain more about that in a second. And then you have your non-hormonal, which are condoms and like male and female condoms, things of that nature, right? And then also copper IUDs are non-hormonal, which are so you have anyway. So when it comes to your pain with periods, you say you have heavy flows as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy usually feel like the first few days and then they start to lighten up, but they definitely last longer. Most people are like, oh, your period's like 4 to 5 days, and mine's like 7.
Okay. So that is still within normal range, but I can understand that being unfavorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that we can do is a hormonal birth control can help with that. Some people are worried about hormonal birth control in regards to sometimes they can alter mental states, as in like
Mood swings.
They can dampen your mood. Sometimes people have negative reactions to them, but it also just depends on you. So we can talk more about what specifically might help you. But do you think you're leaning more towards a hormonal birth control?
Yes. If it would help with the periods, that would be really awesome. But I've heard that like some hormonal birth controls that are like more concentrated, like the shot or something, can make it like take a long time to get pregnant after you stop, and so I'm really worried about that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But there are also options that you can do that are immediately. You're basically fertile the moment that you stop taking them. So, what might work for you would be taking a daily pill, or if you don't want to have that kind of have to take it every single day at the same time.
Yeah, I'm pretty forgetful.
Because it might be a little bit difficult. You could do a copper IUD, not copper IUD, the hormonal IUD, which will just release extended. Some people don't like the pain that comes along with it because the insertion can be quite painful. So something that I might recommend to you is the NuvaRing, which is a progesterone-based but also estrogen-based hormonal ring, silicone ring that you'll put in there. And if you want to still have a period, you leave it in for 28 days, and then you take it out when you're ready to have your period, and then you get a new one, insert it, and you leave it in.
Okay.
And so you can take it out whenever you decide, and then usually given a week or two, sometimes a month, just to get your cycle back and regulated and get everything back to normal. Sometimes it can take a little bit for your cycle to balance out after hormones, but with the NuvaRing specifically, you're able to
get back into your cycle pretty quick.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will help with potentially it will help with the painful periods that you're talking about, and with keeping that pregnancy away. If you're really worried about it, I would also recommend using condoms while having it in. A lot of people don't like to have it in while they're having sex, so they will take the new ring out, have sex either with a condom or without. Both are safe, and then put it right back in the moment that you're done. And then what it does is it releases slow, consistent hormones, so you're not having the dips that you might with.
Okay.
I know.
I'm gonna go for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.